8 months in, I haven't gotten more than 4 hours of sleep a night. But other than that, I'm okay. I think having a baby has helped me prioritize things. If it doesn't add anything to my career and my baby's life, I just simply say no. I think the biggest influence in my life is my father.
I'm so glad someone said father, not mother. Has anything changed after baby?
Oh my God, everything.
For parenting tips, celebrity interviews, recipes, conversations with experts, DIYs, and lots more. Subscribe to Kids Talk Press now.
First Indian female chef to receive a Michelin star, not one but two. She began her career as a journalist. She graduated from Le Cordon Bleu. She now has a 9-month-old son. She's former MasterChef India judge and someone who I've deeply admired for everything that she does. A fabulous chef, a mom, an incredibly talented woman. Thank you for being here, Garima. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That's quite an introduction. It's embarrassing.
I got it right. I got it right because it was straight from the heart. How are you feeling? You seem overwhelmed. Are you cool?
I'm not overwhelmed. I'm overstimulated. but yeah, like we were just talking about, a lot of tabs open. But it's okay. I think I'm managing all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're looking okay.
8 months in, I haven't gotten more than 4 hours of sleep a night. But other than that, I'm okay.
Are you in an overcompensatory mode after being a mom?
How do you mean?
Like, are you trying to do a lot more thinking and I'll be left behind?
No, I don't think so. In fact, it's the other way around. I think having a baby has helped me prioritize things. I say no to things easier now than I did before. I think, if it doesn't add anything to my career and my baby's life, I just simply say no. So
I'm so
that helps.
Yeah, that's amazing, and that's really nice to hear, because I know typically women go through an overdrive thinking that I'm not going to be able to catch up, or I need to overcompensate because everybody around, including my bosses or people I work with or people in the industry or social media, will be like, "Bas, now she's had a baby, ab to ye gayi," or she'll take it slower, or the pace will become lesser, or now she's not part of the consideration set. That didn't happen.
I'm sorry people feel like that, but I can imagine why. It's such an unfair situation for women to be. Naturally, we are, instinctively we wanna nurture. We are mothering. Just that's how we are. And then when you have to kind of take a call between being a mother and being at work, this choice is unnatural for women to make. And it's such an unfair ask, I feel. But some women have to work. Sometimes it's a necessity. I feel I'm privileged because I have my own business. I can carve out time according to what suits me and my baby. But I know a lot of women don't have that privilege. So it's hard. It's hard on a woman. It's not fair to be both a mother and a boss, or whatever you want to call it. It's a very unfair ask.
I truly believe who you are and where life sets you out to be somewhere sewn into your childhood. What were growing up years like?
Growing up years, I'm from a Punjabi household, so growing up was a lot of food, a lot of noise, a lot of amazing lunchtime, dinner time conversations. But I think the biggest influence in my life is my father.
I'm so glad someone said father, not mother.
Oh my God, my mother hears this. She's not going to be very happy. She's like, "Kabhi to mera naam le liya kar." No, but she's shaped me in so many ways that she will never admit or say that that's from her. She hates how confrontational and how direct and to the point I can be. But "Thair ja hadiya todti hu" also, this attitude I've gotten from her. These are her lines growing up. But I think my father instilled in me a very, very strong sense of self, a very strong moral compass, importance of discipline over motivation. I have him to thank for all of that. I didn't understand that growing up. I always, like summer vacations, why do I have to come to the office and do data entry to earn my pocket money, or this mobile phone I wanted after 10th standard or something. So I always had to work to get anything in life. Things were not just simply given or handed over to me. And he very purposely made it so. And I'm so glad he did.
You know, I always thought that my mom was a driving force in my life and she's everything that I've learned from. Until I realized that my dad didn't say a lot of things, but he embodied a lot of things, like you said. Yeah. The discipline, the grit, the compass, he was literally like the discipline, right? All of that, I didn't realize that I learned it from him without him even saying a word.
Yeah.
And for most women, because the mothers are so overarching and they kind of like, they talk so much that you always feel like it's your mom, but actually, I completely resonate with that. Yeah. Journalist to being a Michelin Star chef. What's that journey all about?
I mean, I was hardly a journalist, man. I studied mass media. I graduated in journalism. I worked at Indian Express for 4 or 5 months. I realized I was not very good at it. I was not enjoying it. And somewhere I knew I wanted to be a chef. And my dad had always told me this. He used to joke, he used to say that, don't come to me, ask me, money for your wedding. Figure it out how you're going to pay. He paid for my wedding because finally it was all his friends attending it. But he said, anytime you want to study in life, don't hesitate. Just come to me. I'll give you all the money in the world to go study. Right. So I realized that if I wanted to be a chef, it's a young person's game. I have to kind of do it now. So I went up to him and I told him, this is what I want to do. He was really surprised. He thought I'd probably do like an MBA or a postgrad in journalism or something. But he loves to eat. So he was like, acha aur kuch nahi to mere liye to acha khana bana hi legi. So he said, okay, you can go do this, but promise me you'll spend a year, whenever, cumulative or separately, cooking for me and my friends. Well, that never happened. I never came back home after I left for Cordon Bleu. But he's really happy with everything that happened.
What was it? It wasn't hard to convince them at all?
My dad, no. Absolutely not.
Akeli ladki.
No, he's never.
None of that.
No. He, like I said, he raised me to be very independent. At 18, I was given a car because he understood the importance of mobility, of freedom. Like you discover the world when you are free to move around. Yeah. He made sure I learned driving at the age of 18. He gave me a car at the age of 18. At the age of 21, he bought me a house saying that, okay, whatever you do in life, you always will have a house. The rest you figure out yourself. So he's a kind of parent that kind of is the safety net a child needs to kind of navigate the world themselves.
Are you going to draw a lot of that when you're raising your own?
All of it. Right. I don't think I will change anything about how my parents raised me with my son. Nothing. I would do it exactly like that.
Contrary to what you just said, when I interviewed Pooja Dhingra's parents for my book, The Parents I Met, and she comes from a Punjabi family as well, fairly modern, they said that they were hesitant. And I'm sure the story of you and the story of Pooja is not that of the entire country. For every girl who really wants to convince her parents that this is what I want to do, how do you think they should convince them?
No, but that's what everybody asks me. Like, what message do you have for girls out there? The message is not for the girls, it's for people around them.
Yeah.
Their in-laws, their husbands, their brothers, their parents, they need to change. They need to get it out of their head that they owe you anything at all. Of course, your priorities, your life, your family life is important, and it gives a woman a lot of satisfaction and happiness. It's a very important part of who you are. But that's not the end all of everything. Right. So whatever you choose to do, you need to have a very strong, ecosystem around you that will help you push forward. Like a wife does for a husband. A husband can go out and work and achieve everything he does because there's a wife at home who takes care of the kids and the family. Sometimes it's the other way around. Your wife needs the same sort of support from your husband. And luckily, I'm married to a brilliant man like that. I don't know how I found him. It's just karma in the gym. I was 20.
So the idea is, guys, go cook the food, and then go cook incredible food, and then find the right guy at the gym.
And burn it off in the gym.
Tell me, when you started out, did you know that I'm going to be a Michelin star restaurant?
No, absolutely not. I just wanted to cook. I became a chef because I love to eat. And I thought if I knew how to cook, I would eat really well. But that's the biggest myth ever. Chefs are the worst eaters. We barely have time to eat. And whenever we do, we kind of scoff our meals in between services. But no, that was never on my mind. I just wanted to cook.
So what's the pathway to getting there?
I don't know. Pathway to anything is just, I always say this, you keep your head down, you work hard. You don't do it for the accolades. They help. I'm not discounting that. They help. But that's not why you do it. You do it because you love it.
Yeah.
That's it.
And tell me, how has life changed?
We're busier, that's for
Yeah.
sure. Other than that, nothing. We'll still continue to do what we believe in. There is a narrative Indian food that we want to push. We will continue to do that. Nothing is going to change. We want to stop doing what we wanted to do or change in pursuit of the third star. It'll all happen in good time, I feel.
Incredible. And tell me, has anything changed after the baby?
Oh my God, everything. Everything has
I
changed.
love how one part of her life, nothing's changed. And the other part of life, everything's changed.
Everything has changed. I thought I'm going to have a baby. I'm going to get a good nanny. I'm going to go back to work and life, nothing is going to, no, it'll be the same. What should change? The baby will adapt to my life. I'm having the baby. He's not having me. No, that's not true. He's always at the back of my mind. I don't know whether this happened to you when you had your babies. I feel like he's been part of every single memory that I've had so far. Obviously, he wasn't with me before he was there, but it just seems he was with me throughout. It's the most moving experience ever. I have no words to describe it. And now when he's away from me physically, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel correct. So I take him to work with me every day. They say it takes a village to raise a baby. I feel a village is built into a restaurant. I have 40 staff, 7 different nationalities. So he's with, one person, 15 minutes each. They love having him around. He's, crawling around the restaurant and somebody's chasing after him. He's tasting something, grabbing something. And before you know, it's 6 p.m. and he's off to bed.
Yeah.
And he spent a whole day with so many people who are happy to have him around. So
That's so amazing. Somebody once asked me that, why do you even need to have a baby? And, for some time, I couldn't find. It took many months for me to probably find that answer. But I think the only reason why, and I don't know if it's a good enough or not a good enough answer, but I think the only reason why I feel you truly and very selfishly have a child is because you've never experienced this sort of selfless love ever. Like, I don't think there is, it's not your partner, it's not of course your parents, but it's just nobody can love you like that.
You're right. I always heard this. I never knew what that meant. But once you have a baby, you realize.
You know exactly what that is. And I completely, completely feel what you're saying, because I know my kids were raised by a large part of my team.
Yeah.
Because I literally went back to work like in 15 days after delivery. And, today my girls are 15 and 11, and I think they're as much part of my venture as anybody else. Yeah. I think I keep saying that they're the longest part of my longest running team members, right?
Absolutely.
So I'm sure that
they contributed the most. They gave up their mother for this.
No, my daughters go on to say that we're the founders, because if we weren't born, you wouldn't have got the idea to start Kids Stop Press. So they call themselves the OG founders.
They got that right.
They got that right. But tell me, what doesn't go to schedule? Because I know you seem to be, are you a very disciplined, very type A, like you need things in order, schedules?
There's no other way to be. How could you? So I'm partly solo parenting. My husband is in India. He's with me a week every month. Other than that, it's just me and my baby and of course my entire team.
No, what I mean is that, you are like this professionally.
Yeah.
And then what takes the hardest for a lot of working moms is when schedules go haywire.
Yeah.
Because we're such control freaks. Like, we want things to go to a certain hour, and then it doesn't. We don't know how else to do it, and we get a little flustered. Does that happen?
Yes and no. So I understand. So, okay, let me tell you this way. So my first pediatric appointment with Aham was when he was 2 weeks old. And I got the letter saying that the appointment is scheduled between 9 to 5. I was like, what is 9 to 5? Why can't they give me a time? I don't understand this. So I told my husband, we wake up at 8:30, we'll be out of the house at 9:30, we'll be at the hospital at 10. We couldn't leave home till midday. And that's the time I understood why is it at 9 to 5? Because with a baby, you can plan all you want, but things are going to take their own course. So I learned very early that I can plan only so much. I can give a broad structure to the day, but I also have to leave time for things to kind of organically unfold. Yeah. He needs time to be a baby. He needs time to explore and do the things he needs to do. And I have to surrender to that chaos, which is a lot like being a chef.
Yeah.
We prep all day. We do mise en place all day for that service hours, which is going to last 4 or 5 hours. Everything is planned for. But in that moment, when it begins, it's chaos. You have prepped for everything, but within those prep moments, it's absolute chaos, and you're working on pure adrenaline. It's a lot like raising a baby. You can prep as much as you want, but when the time comes, things happen as they normally would. It's live.
Yeah, I can totally imagine, because when I was supposed to go for the 2-week vaccination, it was 2008 when all companies were laying off people. I was one of the few out of hundreds of people who was actually retained, and my boss had asked me to come into work that day. I know that it was supposed to be the 2-week vaccination. I couldn't make it because we're to do multiple Excel spreadsheets to get people out, to figure out who's going, who's keeping, and I just couldn't leave. And that was the first time that I kind of just broke down because I couldn't even make it for the appointment. And I'm still nursing.
Yeah.
I'm still nursing. The baby's crying. I'm leaky, as leaky
yeah.
as leaky can get. And I'm like, oh my God, what is this? So, you do have these moments where you're like, shit, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Do you have any of those moments?
No, but 2 weeks in, you shouldn't be doing that. Like I said, that's so unfair to ask of a mother.
I
2
really
week in.
needed my job, Garima.
No, it helps. It gives you that sanity. I understand. Baby blues is a
I really
thing.
needed my job financially too.
Oh, yeah, I understand that. You need it. I totally get that, but it's such an unfair ask.
Yeah, it is.
That's the point.
It is.
That's the point. That's an unfair ask.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
if as a society we can't even give a mother 3 months with her newborn, what are we doing, man? Where are we headed?
Yeah.
That's
No, and I wonder why, now, when you have a 6-month mat leave, people still want to quit the workforce. And I keep feeling that, shit, we worked so hard to get here, we don't want to quit now.
yeah.
But it is an unfair ask.
Yeah.
And I'm sure at all points in time, we also come to whatever we need to do. But
Yeah.
But tell me, how are you, managing parts of it right now? How are you making time for you, which I think is so important? Because as creative people, we need to make time for ourselves. Because otherwise, it just seems a chore. So how do you space our creativity with chores?
I mean, I think I'm blessed with really great people who are around me. My restaurant, I have a bunch of really, really good chefs who've been with me since day one. So 7 years in, we work together. So they take a lot off my plate. At home, I have, I don't know. I feel you attract the kind of person you are.
Yeah.
And I'm blessed with really good people around me. And at home, I have very good help with Aham. So they take a lot off my plate, which means every morning I have a couple of hours to myself where I can work out, I can do my thing. I at least work out 4 times a week, if not more. That sets me up for everything. And that's all I ask. Just 1 hour of workout and I'm happy. That makes me happy. So
Yeah, I haven't seen a chef so fit.
I don't know about that. I'm still working off the baby fat on me, not my baby fat, my baby fat. But no, I do work out quite a lot.
That's your sanity hour.
That's it. It gives me energy for the rest of the day.
So strangely, do you work out on days where you're going to be fairly busy? Do you make sure that you squeeze in a workout?
Absolutely.
Shit,
The busier I am, the more I'll make sure I work out.
Yeah, because I just feel like it gets you
It
just sets something right. So on the busiest days, I make sure that I most definitely work out.
Me too.
Yeah. Tell me, with all that you're doing, how do you make sure that you are more present? Because you have, like we discussed, you have so many tabs open.
That's the one I'm, feeling I'm a little lost with right now. Because I'm at work, I'm thinking about my baby. I'm with him, thinking about, oh my God, I'm not that's pending and this is pending and menu changes are pending. R&D trip nahi ho raha hai. So yeah, you. That's it. I think this is true to every working mother out there, that you always feel that you let go part of one being present for the other. So I don't know, somebody else, if you figured it out, let me know how you do it, because I can't do it.
Right. And what do you tell yourself to have a relationship that is one partner's here, the other one's there, especially now that you guys have a family? Does it really take a toll on you personally?
It does. The thing is, I can't live anybody else's life for them.
Yeah.
Everybody makes their own choices. I will never ask. I love what I do. My husband loves what he does. So I could never ask him to quit what he's doing to come be with his family, because that's not correct. That's not right.
Yeah.
You can't ask anything of your partner which you're not willing to do yourself.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that he's happy in what he's doing, and whatever time he's with us, he's happy, and we're happy together.
Right.
And I don't think that's possible if you make unreasonable asks of people. As a mother, as a woman, I knew what I was getting myself into having a baby, and I want one more. I know how much tougher it is going to get if
Trust me, it'll get easier.
Maybe it does. A lot of people say that having the second one makes it easier,
You cannot
but
have one. You should definitely have 2, 3, 4.
yeah,
You can
I would
stop
love
at
to have
2.
5. If I knew how good it was, I would have had 5 by now.
Yeah.
But I think maybe I'm a little too late for 5, but definitely one more. But I know what I'm getting myself into, and it's a decision I'm making very knowingly that my life will change. And I'm okay with
you're too
that.
sorted.
You're too sorted
You're
for this
too
podcast.
sorted.
You have no problems.
You're too sorted for the podcast. Like, seriously. Like, what is going to be my opening line? That Garima's too sorted for the podcast. Nahi ho sakta hai. Come on.
No, what do you want me to say?
We need the Jamnagar Josh coming through.
I don't know, man.
No, on a very serious note. Yeah, but you're very, very sorted.
I know. I think I get this from my father. You have to be realistic in life, I feel. Yeah, I don't know what. I'm sorry I'm boring like that. I have no gossip and juice to give.
No, I don't mean gossip and juice. I'm just trying, like, there has to be some part of it which is hard for you to crack.
It is hard. I mean,
You're making it all sound very easy.
No, but it's not that.
You just embraced it well.
You have to understand your life will change. You cannot career-wise achieve everything that you thought you could.
Does it make you insecure?
Absolutely not. Absolutely
You're not.
not.
Like, you don't feel like, oh my God, I lost out on a season, or I lost out on being somewhere that I could have been, or just anything, like, or people are growing at a fast pace. Nothing of that.
That didn't even cross my mind. When I'm with my baby, I'm giving him my time. I don't know, because I feel what better can I leave behind than a well-adjusted human. If I can give him a moral compass that I think to be correct, he will go on to achieve things. So my achievement doesn't stop with what I do. Raising a well-adjusted human being, I think, is an achievement in itself.
Oh, 100%.
And in this day and age, it is so difficult to do that. I see people around me who are just lost. And if I can stop that from happening for my baby, I think that's a big enough achievement as well. So as much as I love my job, I also want to make sure that he grows up to be a good human. And I want to give him all those tools that my parents gave me to be who I am today. I want to be able to give him that. And I think that's an important job also.
No, I'm so glad that you spoke about it, because I just feel that we give raising humans such little importance that we don't even think it's a significant task.
No.
Like, we don't even think it's such a big thing. Like, we just think, oh, it's okay, right? Like, whether it is the media, or whether it's people on social, whether it's the government, it just is taken like, oh, it's just like we want to correct people in their 20s, not knowing that they need to be taken care of in
They need to be loved in their
single digits,
yes,
right?
Absolutely. And all you need to give them is love.
Absolutely.
I just feel that's all they want. They don't need fancy toys and expensive holidays. And you just need to be there as a support system. They just need love. That's
Right.
all. And you're so right. I don't know whether you've ever heard, there's this otherwise a very controversial figure, Jordan Peterson. I listen to his podcast quite a bit. I agree with most of it. Some of it I don't. But he mentioned something that you raise your child to be loved by other adults as well. Because your kids can pick up on that energy.
Yeah.
When adults are not happy being around a child, they pick up on that energy. They know people are being fake around them. They're being fake liked or fake loved.
Of course, I follow him.
Yeah. So he said it's such an amazing thought that you have to raise your kids to be okay, not just with other kids, but also with adults around them. So it's complex. Raising children is not as simple. But also in a way it is. You just have to let them be. They'll make mistakes. You'll make mistakes. You'll mess them up in your own way, but they will learn to navigate that. You don't want them to have a sheltered life even. You want them to have conflicts. You want them to have conflicts with you, with people around them, with other kids, other adults. I want him to have conflicts, but I want him to know how to resolve them without breaking down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Recently I was in Ahmedabad, and one lady asked me that, she's a mom, 3-year-old, and she said that, at wake up time, my child and me have a lot of conflicts because he doesn't want to go to school. So I've just outsourced it to the nanny. And I was like, just why are you avoiding that conflict?
Yeah.
Because he needs to know that relationship is not without conflict, it
Yeah.
is with. And I said, in every situation, if you're going to avoid that conflict, then how is his understanding of a relationship going to be holistic, right? He's going to think it's only one-sided and one-dimensional or unidimensional, which is just love, love, love. I said that does not exist. That I come to give the love. It's like I want to avoid the conflict because then I won't be his favorite person.
No. It never works like that.
It never works
It
like
never
that
works
because
like
someone who loves you the most, you will.
There are always
obviously
negotiations
help.
there.
Yeah, there will be negotiations, there will be conflicts. But
true.
the fear of not letting, the fear of being the number one is so dominant in mothers' lives, and it's very hard for them to start believing that, if I am the one who's going to be the bad cop, I'm not going to be her or his number one.
The number one keeps changing, man. Like growing up, it's always your mother, then it becomes your dad. I understand that you always want to be the good cop. You always want to be the loved
Especially if you're a
one.
working mom.
Yeah.
And that's what she said. It was very interesting because she's like, I'm always living in this fear that the nanny will take over or my mother-in-law will take over. And because I'm absent, that I will not be his number
But
one.
fathers don't have that fear, do they?
Yeah, and I wonder why.
No, but I think this is what it is for women. It's literally a part of you, right? So you want to protect them, love them. It's natural. But dads don't do that, right? Dads do their own thing. They're there as always a father figure, somebody to, respect and revere and even be afraid of. But they always still become number one. Why is that? Because both mother and father, they have different roles to play, but both are giving you tools to navigate the world, right?
Yeah.
And it's not if I am the number one or not. It's really like, is it right for them or not?
Yeah.
I think that's
feel
the
I'm
decision.
very overconfident as a mother. Like I keep telling my husband, let me do the bad job. Because I know they'll come back to me no matter what. Like I'm so secure that I
That's
know,
it.
okay, घूम फिर के
कहाँ जाओगे तुम?
कहाँ जाओगे? Like, and I know that I will be, but that
that's
doesn't
it.
allow me to be nasty, but that allows me to take a few liberties of
Yeah.
being the firmer parent more often than not.
And they will come back to that discipline because as they grow up in life, they will appreciate that discipline.
Yeah.
You will be the number one. Trust me, you will be. But then that's it. Like, कहाँ जा सकते हो?
Yeah.
ले दे के ये मिलने वाला.
Yeah. And once they understand that why I said it so firmly, they're like, okay, we know.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that trust me, I can really swap with you at the life stage that you are in with your child and I'm with mine. Because raising a teenager is tougher than raising a baby.
Wow.
So
No,
if
I'm
you
sure
thought-
it is. I remember me as a teenager. I don't want me as a teenager to raise. Absolutely not. I was a handful. But
You're
yeah.
a good kid. Like you said, 18, your father was so confident. I mean, you didn't get it just easy.
But I'm sure I gave them trouble as well. Every kid does, no? When we think that we know more than our parents and, we're ready to take over the world. And when you actually go out, you realize, okay, maybe not.
Yeah, like my mom said, that if you've never been hated by your child, you've never been a good parent.
Yeah, that's it.
Because at some point in time, there was always discipline.
That is, you have to. That's true.
Right? What's next? What are you thinking of? What do you want to know? Like, what's like your single goal this year? And what do you really intentionally want to do?
I think it's work-wise, we have few ideas with the restaurant. I want to give it as much time as possible. Like I said, I have a very clear narrative of Indian food that we want to push forward. So that's what we're going to work on. I am done having restaurants. It's now my sous chefs, it's their turn now. So whatever we do next, they'll be heading it. They will be taking care of it. Everything that they have learned at GA for the last 7-8 years, now it's their turn to kind of run with that. I'm really happy with the restaurant that I have. It gives me a lot of joy and happiness being there. And of course, he's my number one priority. And they're hopefully getting ready for another one.
Yeah, okay. But tell me one part that, how hard was it to be pregnant and be on your feet for all those long chef hours?
I'm telling you, I was very lucky during COVID because I met this trainer, nutrition, I don't know what he was. Who was he? He was God sent. So I used to work out pretty much every day because there's nothing better to do during COVID. And my relationship with food, nutrition, health changed completely spending all that time with him. He was Australian. He's moved back to where he was from. He's no longer in Bangkok, and that was the hardest goodbye I've ever had to had to endure. But I think I learned to live in my own body. I figured what it needs to function properly. I know if I eat that, how that's going to make me feel. I know if I drink that, what that's going to do to me. If I know if I don't work out today, what's going to happen to me in a few hours. I wasn't so in tune with my body because when I did become pregnant, it was so natural, so normal. I was working up until the 8th month of my pregnancy. I was shooting for MasterChef, going back and forth. I was working in my restaurant. I was working out every day. I didn't do any prenatal medicines, nothing. I just made sure my nutrition was on point throughout. Yeah, I was really lucky with my pregnancy. It was as if nothing happened. And I had a C-section because arm was breech. And I think I didn't even take any painkillers after. I did a 48-hour fast, let my hormones reset, give my body a clean break. And I then got back into eating like what I know will work for me. I know what works for my body. I don't follow it all the time. Late nights always happen. Late night binging happens.
Tell me how, when you mentioned about your relationship with food has changed, how is it changing for Aham and you? Like, are you cooking separate meals?
Yeah.
Are you integrating his food into yours? Are you more conscious of what he is eating because you've had a mindset shift?
Yeah. No, I definitely am. I'm figuring out what works for him. And I think maybe I'm imagining this in my head, but there is a mother-child connection. I immediately can pinpoint why he's upset or, why he is in discomfort because somewhere I feel it too. I don't know what, maybe it's all in my head. I don't know. But as far as his nutrition is concerned, I kind of try to feed him as I eat. I think we bounce off each other's meals because if I'm going to cook for him and me, I'm not going to make two separate meals. So I'm doing a lot of porridge-style food for myself. But there are things like this. Like I don't eat any rice. I try to avoid rice and wheat and stuff like that. Like I'm always on a low-carb diet. That's what works for me.
She's just really a farzi Punjabi. She didn't say low carb. I can just totally...
I don't do carbs. But he, of course, for him, he needs it.
Yes.
So... Then, of course, my diet has changed a little bit because of that. Because if I'm making stuff for him, rice and so on, I'll eat it too. He loves dosa. He loves idlis. So every Sunday, I make dosa at home. So I never cooked at home before. Well, it was just me. I would never eat at home. I would just always eat at a restaurant and at the restaurant or whatever. It was staff meal. But now I started cooking at home. So that's changed a lot.
Right. So does a master chef, a Michelin star restaurant, have like the perfectly plated plates at home for like are they Instagram worthy?
No, but then this is what I was telling. We were in the middle of a service and one of my chefs made something and gave it to me, and I was like, my baby food is better seasoned than this. So all references are like this. I was like, you see this puree I made? This apple, look how it's glistening. This is Aham's puree. Your puree has to look better than this. What are you doing? So yeah, those comparisons.
Reference points have changed.
Yeah, those reference points have changed.
But does he get like fully nicely plated?
No, not yet. Now he's like throwing food around. It's the baby-led weaning.
And does it happen like you've served him something, and kids being kids, right? They don't want to eat something, they like spit it out, or they throw it. And does the ego ever come in? Do you know who I am? Your mother is a chef, and that too with so many accolades. Does that ever happen?
He eats everything and anything. He's a very easy baby like that.
But he's never spat food.
No, not so far. Not he has
never
not
picked up and thrown food.
My nanny is more skeptical. She'll eat it. She'll try his food. Like, ma'am, today it's a little bit too sweet. I'm like, shut up.
I can't believe you need to take approval from the nanny.
My nanny, she's very particular. I think too sweet for Aham, not too much beetroot.
But what's typical meal plan for a 9-month-old?
So he starts off in the morning. So he wakes up in the morning like he's teething. So I kind of give him like a piece of carrot or bread or something that he can gnaw on. That's first thing first. Then some fruits and yogurt. He really loves that, enjoys that. In the afternoon, what I do is like with rice or some grain, vegetables, and I always cook in bone broth. I feel that gives a lot of nutrition, lot of good proteins, collagen, and all of that. So it's bone broth or fish broth. I always, instead of water, I use that to cook. There's a lot of flavor and nutrition in there. So yeah, that's what he eats. And then now I'm slowly introducing the third meal. So third meal is whatever I'm eating. If I'm eating like pasta or grilled chicken, or he finally has teeth coming out now.
Yeah.
So we'll just give him a little piece of that, and he starts nibbling with me.
Does it make you feel out of control that you don't know what he's eating, so you plan his meals meticulously?
No, I don't. But this is again something, because I travel so much with him, it's very difficult to stick to, oh, this is what he's going to eat today. We have to be adaptive with him, and so I'm chill like that. Other than processed sugar, I'm okay with anything he eats. I don't go after him and stop anybody.
Do you know what he's eating at every meal?
Yeah, I do. So I make sure when I'm away right now and he's home with his grandmother. So I told him, okay, he's with you. He's eating fruits. What are you giving him today? And I was okay. Feed him whenever you feel like. It's fine.
Okay. And does it ever happen that you want to kind of control that at any point in time?
I do. But I realize I can't. I have to. This is something I have to let go.
Is that a trigger?
It is. Because when he's out with grandparents, they don't understand that why you want to feed him something. Why can't he have sugar? Why can't he have a chocolate? Like, tumko bhi to khila ke bada hi kiya na humne. Yeah, I understand that, but you don't want to. They don't understand that. So,
how do you navigate that?
I think I can be very firm when I want to, and then that's
without being offensive.
The thing is, when it comes to him, if I'm offensive, I'm offensive. That's everybody has to deal with that, because I don't have literally the time to tiptoe around egos. So, nahi to nahi. Mostly, I think maan jate. I hope so.
And last but not the least, do you ever make conscious choices to raise him as an Indian baby, staying away from home? Like, are there like
absolutely
more nuances, like you have to pray like this, or you have to do like this, you have to say like this, or this is how you do
absolutely.
So what's that?
Who is he if he's not Indian? He's an Indian first. That to me is very important, that he grows knowing where he comes from. He's in tune with his religion. Very, very important to me. So abhi to he's very tiny, but yeah, subah उठ के जय करो, भगवान जी को जय करो. Diwali, मैंने कितने सालों से दिवाली नहीं बनाई थी, but now he's here, so of course patake, everything. Now this year I'll do Holi also, but we'll also do Songkran. We're in Thailand, we'll celebrate those festivals as well. But no, he has to grow as close as he can to his roots. He has to know who we are and where we come from. Right. That's very, very essential to me. I learned this the hard way. I left India thinking that I wanted to cook French food and I wanted to do this. Why would I cook Indian food? And I went abroad. I've lived abroad for 15 years. Nothing comes close to what we have as a civilization. Nothing. And the pride I feel today being Indian, I think it's the most amazing time being Indian.
Oh,
and I'm so glad.
Yeah,
I am so glad. And when he was born, I was like, oh, he's going to get a Thai passport. Like, why? Why would I? Are you mad? No, of course he's going to get an Indian passport. He is going to be Indian. There's no doubt in my mind about that. He's so lucky to be born Indian, I feel.
But do you fear that the next generation doesn't take great pride in Indian food?
No, I think that's not true. They do. More and more they do. And they'll come around. See, it's aspirational to look to the West for fashion and food. But that will change very soon. Very, very soon you'll find that they look towards us, because eventually it's history of centuries together in one country.
Yeah.
Pop culture can't overtake that. Nothing can overtake that. And I think, our kids are at a time where India's going to do great things and they're going to be part of that greatness. I'm excited to see everything.
Amazing.
Future
Thank you.
No, thank you. So good to talk to you.
For parenting tips, celebrity interviews, recipes, conversations with experts, DIYs, and lots more. Subscribe to Kids Talk Press now.